Okay. All right. Danny, hey, thank you so much for hopping on this call with me, taking time out of your busy day. I truly appreciate it. A lot of people know you in the marketplace, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Do me a favor.
No problem, Alex. Thank you so much for the opportunity, man. My name is
Yeah.
Daniel Estrada with Cornerstone Home Lending, man.
Awesome. Awesome. Danny, I know you've been doing it for a long time, but how long you been in lending now?
16 years.
16 years. And you saw what happened in '08, right?
I was here in '08. Yes.
And what was that experience like?
Man, I'd say there's not too many of us back from '08. If I look at the market, it's probably about 50 of us that were still from '08. A lot of people have left the industry, kind of retired. So
Yeah.
it's one of those experiences, man. I was young at that time, and I share this with everybody that I was young. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't really informed, and I kind of folded, and I kind of went into a little dark spot, take me to my happy place when the market was really, it was a meltdown, and
Yeah.
so now I'm in a different place. I'm older. I'm a little wiser, I believe, and
Right.
I've seen the market. I've seen what the banks did. And that's what I like to share. I kind of like to share what's going on, especially to our community of realtors and lenders, that
Yeah.
there is going to be um, a good market right after this and a great market. And we just got to stay focused on that and just believe that everything's going to be okay.
So you feel pretty confident, because you already experienced a downturn back in '08 of how to handle the current situation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very confident, just because I knew something was going to come to our market. Not in the mortgage industry. Everybody, believes that the mortgage industry always leads with the crisis and the meltdowns, but no,
Right.
I knew that something had to happen, something had to change with everything that was going on. And so, if people have done business with me, they kind of hear me preach about, not overbuying, not living off credit cards, not,
Yeah.
living within your means, living in a budget, right? I'm
Right.
known for being that guy that's always giving people the advice of create a budget.
Yeah. So, I mean, since we are on this whole '08 topic real quick, and we'll dive right into my questions. How do you think it's similar and differences compared to '08 and now?
I believe it's just the similar is the fear. I think a lot of people one, they're misinformed. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just the fear of you know um, that the media portrays and everybody portrays. I think that kind of leads to um, the results, right?
Yeah.
Of what you look at, right? I always tell everybody, I'm in industry. I've been doing this for 16 years, but Facebook has more credibility than I do, right? Because
Right.
seeing a post.
Yeah.
Uh, so everybody believes what they see online, and they kind of have to believe what we say.
Right. Okay. Well, look, there's a lot of chatter about whole forbearance program. I don't have to make a mortgage payment, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's gonna crash and burn. I'm not gonna make my payments." What do you have to say about, talk a little bit about forbearance right off the bat. First thing first.
So exactly what I was talking about, right? The media, what they're portraying, and they're fueling something that, hey, some people want, the mortgage industry to collapse, right? There's a lot of gains when that happens, but the forbearance it's something that's being offered that it pretty much defers the payment, for the next 3 months. I think most major servicing companies are participating, uh,
Yeah.
but the forbearance is an option for people that just cannot in any way, shape, or form make the mortgage payment. It's not something to participate just because Facebook and social media is saying to go ahead and jump on this. This is something that we are advising all our clients that if you can make a mortgage payment, you have income, even if it's part-time income, this is the highest priority debt that you want to continue making a payment during this time.
So it's not forgiven. It's two different things, right? I
No,
mean, I know.
it's not forgiven, and everybody thinks that there's going to be some type of fix it all as soon as all this is over. And I just want to tell everybody, there's it's gonna be pretty cut and dry, right? The 3 months are over. Bank's gonna say, can you make the 4 payments up front? No, I can't. Great. Let's go ahead and take you to a couple other options. Can we divide the payment in the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, right? So if you're behind or you deferred, let's just make it very simple. $1,000 payments, right? You deferred $3,000 for July. they're going to take that $1,000 and they're going to try to work with you and help you. Most servicing companies don't, they want to help, but the client also has to give, their best effort to trying to create a solution. So a couple options. They're probably going to say, hey, you want to divide that $3,000 in the next 12 months and the next 24 months. They're going to try to find a way to make it happen. Will the economy be right back where it was before coronavirus, COVID-19? No. I mean, it's going to take time. It's going to take momentum, to get that engine running again. The economy, business is hiring again. So if those options are not for you and your families, then you're going to go into, hey, here's an application for a loan modification, right? That's where the loan modification starts kicking in. Now, at that time, they can reassess what you're behind, put it all together, put it on the back of the loan, send you a new grant deed, a new note, and extend the time of your balance and your time frames. So that's kind of what's going to
That's basically it. As simple as that. Make your mortgage payment. Yeah.
But what I see is going to be a problem. Can you imagine the masses of people that are going to be showing up in July saying, hey, what can you do for me? So I always tell everybody, expect delays. Expect that you're not going to get an answer in July. You might not even get an answer in August. Probably the end of August, beginning of September.
Yeah.
There's going to be millions and millions of people that are being misinformed, and they're jumping on this thinking like, hey, there's going to be a solution for all of us, right? A quick fix. But it doesn't work that way. Once again, I was here in 08, and it's not that easy. The time frames are just not, banks do not have, they don't work 24/7. So that's the challenges.
Yeah. So, you're answering my other question that I have is like, so you would agree that there's a massive lack of information from the service providers or just lending companies that, people don't have access to, right?
Yeah, the information is just they're not being really straight right now, right? All you see is, Bank of America is going to participate, these bigger, Wells Fargo, these bigger companies, but they're not really just telling people what is the aftermath after these 3 months, right? What are the homeowners putting at risk? I think that's the biggest one, right? What are you risking? And I tell everybody, you're the most precious investment that you have, which is your home.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I was running some numbers. There's a lot of people that have equity in their house nowadays. I mean, they're in a much better position.
Alex, when people tell me the meltdown's going to happen, like, wait, it cannot happen that way. You know why? Because 98% of Americans that bought a home in the last 10 years, the last decade, actually qualify for it. There were actually income-based qualifications made.
Yeah.
So it's not like back in the day when, you bought a $500,000 house with no income, right? So
right.
A lot of folks that bought have plenty of equity in the homes right now. So
yeah,
we're not in the same times. We're not.
Yeah. So this whole thing is not mortgage-driven crisis, right? It's
no, by far, pandemic. No. But if as a community of mortgage professionals and real estate professionals, homeowners, if we don't get informed, if we don't think right, we can create that again, right? Because we all suddenly start jumping onto this forbearance and don't make your mortgage payment, and then these loan modification companies are going to come from LA and start, promoting loan modifications online and in radios, and once again they're fueling, the fire, because there's a lot of people that make money when people are afraid, right? And when people are misinformed. I call them the sharks start coming out during times like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, what major changes do you think this will bring to the industry? Do you think it will stabilize, decline, or it'll like take off slowly and then pick back up? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, there's no doubt that, people are still going to end up not listening to what we say. People are not going to believe us when we say that what can happen. Yeah. And the I don't care attitude kind of starts kicking in with most people, and so we do anticipate seeing some quick sales. I do anticipate seeing some short sales coming around, but it's not really going to hurt our market. Yeah, we might see some areas decline in value, but not a lot. Just because John Doe decided to sell his house 10, 20 grand under, doesn't mean the values came down. It means that he's in a different situation and needs to cash out as quickly as possible. So you might see that, but it's not, the industry is collapsing.
Yeah, and then I've been hearing some major banks are tightening up their criterias, right? They're saying 700 some credit score, higher down payment. Will that be the new norm for all the buyers out there, or is just do you think that's just temporarily, or what are your
No,
thoughts?
it's temporary. I think it's a smart thing. I think it's a great thing that the once again, I tell everybody, the mortgage community, the mortgage world, we are moving quickly. Our company, a lot of major players are doing the smart decisions, the right decisions to protect the integrity of our industry, right?
Yeah,
We have a lot of people in high places that were here in '08, and they know what's got to be done. And unfortunately, right now, we have to all believe that cutting back, changing some guidelines, getting a little bit more strict is good and it's healthy for our industry.
yeah, yeah. I personally think it's a great idea. I mean, look, if they're asking for 6 month reserve, nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you have it, it's just a stronger application, and I
That
personally
is
think that
correct.
buyer is more serious, more qualified, and is in a better position. If just this thing is to drag on a little bit longer than expected.
Once again, Alex, the banks were here. The banks know what's coming, right? We had over 11 million unemployments in a week and a half, right? I was listening to somebody saying that the average is about 4 million per year, and we had 11 million unemployment filed in a week and a half. So we are expecting, the mortgage industry community is expecting a lot of people to jump onto this forbearance, but they're also expecting that we will see defaults, right? Right now, it's not considered default, but come July, they don't make the mortgage payment. Now we're in default, right? Now we
Yeah,
are behind on our mortgage payments.
right.
It's just no secret that when the unemployment rate skyrockets, we do anticipate a lot of defaults. And what the lending industry is protecting borrowers that qualified with down payment assistance, qualified with very little out of money. Their percentage of default is way higher than a borrower with a 700 credit score, a 660. So the mortgage industry, like I said, there's just some smart people up there now that realize, like, hey, if we
Yeah,
tighten down that window, continue lending to the right people, our defaults are as less, it's as severe as if we just kept on lending money without any control, lending money
right.
foolishly. And I think it's a great idea. Most institutions are kicking up their FHAs. So some people are going away with down payment assistance right now.
Yeah, haven't heard of that.
Like I said, it's a good thing. We only want to do things that we have control, right? Because if an investor, here's what I tell Alex. I tell my realtors this: like, I want to make sure that people that are in your car or people that are looking at homes right now, you're going to have financing for them. You don't want to wait for an investor that says, hey, suddenly no more borrowers under 620, and you have 3-5 families you're serving, and suddenly that's out. Then it puts you and that family in a really bad situation. So you just kind of want to be a little bit more a conscience, and you just kind of want to prepare yourself for that. So banks are going to move that direction, and I think you're going to see a little bit more in the next 30 to 45 days. Because remember, this is month one
Yeah,
of forbearance, right? So
yeah.
the cost and effect happens like May 1st, when
90 days. I'm putting in
now
90
we
days
kind of
out.
scale how many people participated on the forbearance, and
Right,
scale June 1st, how many people we have in the 6-day window. This
right.
is month one, so we'll see what happens in the next 30, 45 days.
Yeah, so that leads me to ask you, do you still think it's a good time for people to get qualified or come in and talk to you about a mortgage?
I always tell everybody it is a perfect time, perfect time. I'm calling it the Disneyland Fast Pass, right? I always tell everybody, come on in, get pre-qualified, take care of that portion now. I mean, we know, and whether you're an essential type of industry, right, where that you're going to keep working, you're going to keep on, your employment's going to be there, right?
Yeah,
It's a great time because after this is over and this is done, we are still the most affordable city in California.
I agree.
We're going to continue to migrate to Kern County. We're still expecting a lot of people, a huge growth, like 30% in the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
So affordability of housing is still going to be probably one of our biggest challenge, right? We're not building enough apartments, low income properties. We're not building enough, housing here to service everybody that's kind of moving into Bakersfield. So when this is over, and it is, and believe me, we're going to go back. Housing, we're still going to need to rent. We're still going to need, you know, people are going to still need to buy. And so we'll get back to this. And I always tell everybody, come July, it's the masses, right? Just think about buses of people coming in now wanting to get back on track and having rates historic low. I mean, I don't remember rates being this low when in 2008, 2009, 2010, right?
What are our rates like right now? Are they?
You know, I mean, I'm not supposed to be quoting anywhere, right? But either, you know, low threes, mid threes is kind of what we're going to be. We're going to see this for a while. You know, we're going to see this. So that alone is going to kind of stir up some more home buyers.
So low three, mid threes for purchase, right? What about refinance? How's that looking?
It's about the same. It's really money right now, cheap money that people can afford to go buy a home. And so that's why I tell people we're going to continue to see the market moving, and you should still buy a home. Real estate realtors, lenders are still essential. We're still selling homes. We're still financing. We're still closing loans every single week.
Right.
And you have an opportunity, and if you can buy what you're looking for at the price that you want to pay, you should buy it.
Fair enough. You know, and one last thing I want to add is, you know, advice for landlords. I've been getting some calls from my investor clients. They're like, Alex, you know, we have a mortgage of our own, and we have 2 other properties that we're collecting rent on, but we also have a mortgage. Tenant A hasn't paid. I mean, what do we do? Do we like stop making payments on that? Do we stop making payments on or how do you think they should tackle it?
You know, I want to be very clear. This forbearance is not for your investment properties, right? It's for a primary residence.
Got it.
I would tell the mortgage investors and property owners, make your mortgage payment. If you have it financed, make those payments. And just know that there is no a process that the government is coming out for landlords, right? There ain't going to be no divide this by 12 months. There's nothing like that, right?
So just to, and I'm hearing this for the first time. So the forbearance doesn't qualify on the investment property.
No,
those are due.
Primary.
Yeah, just the primary, the house that I'm living in, qualifies as. I mean, I can forbearance on it, but not the investment.
Well, you have to actually qualify for the forbearance too. You just can't say I'm going to jump on that without talking to your servicer, right?
Right.
You still have to qualify for it, but not your investment properties. You know, it's everybody thinks every property, right? But it doesn't work.
Right.
In you know, rentals, I think that's probably going to be a huge hit because there's not going to be any programs coming to their rescue unless the homeowner wants to work out a 12-month to make up that payment. And once again, I'm telling renters when they call me and say, hey, should I make it? Yes, make it. That person has a mortgage. That person has to pay his bills. Don't believe social media. Don't believe what you heard from the other guy that's renting a house that he's not going to make the payment. Still make your rental payment, because if you want to buy a house, that rental history could affect your qualifications, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so we just kind of want to make sure that we're clear with that. They really need to stay with the rental payment.
Awesome. Well, Dan, that really answers all my questions. I truly appreciate your time. One of the biggest takeaway for me was that the investment property don't qualify as a forbearance. I personally thought they did. So thanks for clearing that up, But is there anything else you want to add on here?
Well, I think that we covered a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of information out there. You guys have to be aware of there's a lot of people that will benefit from your crisis, right? Your crisis means your own world, your finances, your employment. And you just got to be really, really vigilant about who you are talking to. You do not, and then let me repeat this, you do not have to stop making your mortgage payments for somebody to give you a loan modification, right? You do not have to write somebody a $3,000 or $5,000 check. If people are driving in from out of town and they want to help you, I mean, that's already going to be a problem, right? Look at your local resources. Call your realtor. Call your local lenders. You do not need people from LA or from Northern California coming to give you advice. I was here when that happened. A lot of people were lied to, and they lost a lot of money, and they stopped making the mortgage payment because they thought that was the right thing to do, because some guy with a business card told them that that's the only way the banks were going to help them. Once again, it's just a huge opportunity for these sharks to come in and take advantage of our community. And I am committed, to make sure that my community doesn't struggle and doesn't go through what we went through because of misinformation, right? And so if I can help with anything, I would love for people to reach out to me, and I would definitely help them and guide them with the right information, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex, you can share my information wherever you post it at.
I will.
Call me and reach out to me, whether you're my client, whether you're not my client.
Yeah.
Again, I'm committed to Bakersfield. This is my home, and I want to make sure that I continue to help create healthy communities by helping you get through this situation, this horrible, thing that we're experiencing with the COVID-19. So
Yeah.
if I can help, please.
Awesome, man. Well, hopefully it'll be all over soon and we can go back to our normal lives and eating lunch and dinners and, hanging out with friends and family. But meanwhile, take care of the family. Give me a call if there's anything I can do for you guys. And Daniel, you too. If there's anything I can do for you and the family, just reach out, man. We're here for you guys.
All right, brother. Be safe. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye.